Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm coming in clear. I feel like I'm coming in clear. All right, so this is our first podcast, SuperBanksBros podcast. Pretty much, you can say I'm Pooch, and I'm here with Thorell. Thorell, go ahead and say hello.
What's going on, guys?
All right, we got a couple things to talk about today. One of them is the Monster Hunter Stories Wings of Ruin.
Wings of Ruin.
Wings of Ruin demo.
On the Switch that launched on Friday.
Yeah, launched on Friday.
Yep.
I dove a little bit into it, but Thorell's done a little bit more than me, so he's probably going to start that one off.
Yeah.
Also, on the news cycle, we got AMD and Xbox working together with SuperRes and Fidelity FX. We're also going to be touching on the Everwild change with Gregg, Mayles taking the helm as creative director over Everwild, because it's been rebooted and all that jazz. So, and then to finish it off, since this is our first episode, we're not going to make it too long. We're going to make it short and sweet. So to finish it off, we're going to talk about Metroid Dread and the debacle with that, because we feel like people
they
hating on it. So we got to talk about it. So
it's number one on Amazon.
Yeah, and it's definitely not.
Sprinkle that in there real quick, but we'll wait for a little bit later on to finish that.
Especially after all the hate, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. It's gonna be a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Especially for our first one. So bear with us. I'm sorry. Bear with us, because we're learning just as much as anybody else is. So just bear with us, and we're gonna figure this thing out. But like I said, to begin, we're gonna talk about Wings of Ruin. And I'm going to pass this off to Thorell, because like I said, he's had a little bit more time with it than me. So, here you go.
All right. So, this is my first Monster. Well, I know this is the second one in the series, but this is my first Monster Hunter Stories game. And when it even came out on 3DS, it kind of piqued my interest, but I never went and got it. I like the amiibo designs. The amiibo designs are crazy.
Amazing.
But yeah, I dabbled in this game. I had it on pre-order. It was kind of on my radar, like I said, with the first one. And this game is legit, man. It's good. It's good. I don't want to take no shots at nobody, so I'm going to reserve some of my comments so I don't be making anybody mad. But it is a dope game, and it's a type of RPG, the JRPG, that makes you question other JRPGs is the nice way I will put it. It's a pretty game, especially the cutscenes, the cinematics, and the battling. It looks really good as well. But I'm not blown away by the overworld or the I think it's called Mahana Village. I think is where you're at. You start off at Mahana Village, I think it is. I may be wrong, but. And then you got a little spot where it's not little, it's actually pretty big, and you go out, you explore, you go into monster dens, and you get the basis of the battle mechanics. And it's a relatively simple game, but it seems like it has layers to it. I know you barely dived into it, but when I was playing it, it took me a little bit. I would say maybe 3 or 4 hours of playing it. And initially, when I was playing it, I wasn't completely blown away. I was on the fence. I was kind of like, you know what? I think I'm going to cancel this digital pre-order, because I got the special edition pre-ordered. But as I kept playing it, I really was warming up to it, man. It's the battle mechanics are dope. It's keeping me engaged enough.
Yeah.
I do love the art style. I love the art style from the perspective, especially from the cutscenes and from the battle perspective. But when you start to going into the overworld, you can kind of tell it seems like it's kind of scaled back a little bit.
Okay.
But it's a fun game. The battle mechanics are fire. You don't really know. It's hard for me to gauge right now if I'm gonna get tired of it after a while, because the type of the way the game is, you go into the monster dens, and already I can see right now, if I can call out anything, that the monster dens look a little repetitive when you go in there. But you're getting basic monsters from Monster Hunter. Like I said, I'm not no seasoned Monster Hunter dude.
Yeah.
I dabble. I tried. Pooch tried to get me on Monster Hunter Tri for Wii U, and I just wasn't feeling it. And then I tried out before Monster Hunter Rise came out. I tried out Monster Hunter Worlds on Xbox. It was on Game Pass. Game Pass, y'all. So and it was a dope experience. When we were playing, and then I really dug deep into the Monster Hunter Rise demo. I had put like. What'd you put? You put like 30 hours into the demo, right? And I put like 50 hours into the demo.
It was a crazy amount.
Yeah, and then like in the game right now, I think you got like 90 hours. I got like 80 hours into the game. So I'm not the most seasoned Monster Hunter fan.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter dude, but I've seen like it seems like a lot of the monsters that they're showing you so far in the demo are, like the entry level monsters.
Very entry level, yep.
They ain't really like nothing
Yeah.
but the battle. I mean, if you're into RPGs, man, it's really what's the word am I looking for? Like some of the special attacks are really like cinematic.
Very
you know what
cinematic.
I mean? Yeah. It's a dope game. It's really dope. It has like I almost want to call it the Fire Emblem, the rock paper scissors type method to it.
Yep.
And one beats the other, and then you have actual like special charge. I don't know if you got to the point where there's a move where you get on top of your monster, you ride your monster, and you can use a kinship a move.
Yeah.
But you can stay on top of the monster and keep doing your regular attacks as long as you don't get knocked off. I've never got knocked off yet. So you keep doing it, and then you level up your little, I think it's like the little blue kinship gauge underneath, and you can get it all the way up to level 3. I only got it up to level 2, and then you can hit your kinship, and I believe it's a harder hit. But
so kinship is similar to affinity.
It's like your affinity building up during
combat,
during the battle.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty it's pretty tight. You only control yourself, so you don't really control what you do have another NPC with you who's like almost like your little tutor or your little guide who's helping you with everything. Yeah. But your monsters fight by themselves, and you can swap your monster in and out from different monsters. You can swap your weapons in and out. Right. But overall, I gotta admit, I like it a lot. It does, just from a frames per second, it does jump from. You can tell it jumps from 60. It'll jump up and down. So I would guess I believe it's an uncapped frame rate, because I was listening to another guy who was saying that that it was uncapped as well, and that he actually would have preferred it to be capped, like at a solid 30, because it like hovers around. It is weird,
yeah.
But it's not that. Remember how I was telling you about that Link's Awakening effect when you come out of the door? It's not that jarring, but like you notice it when you go in different areas. You're like, okay, I can tell this is running extra butter.
Oh yeah, from the little bit. I'm sorry, let me go to Mike. From the little bit that I played, it seems like it is fluctuating a bit as far as frames. I think with that game, you don't really need 60 like that. You can go 30 and be fine, because it's a turn-based game anyways. When you're out in the world, kind of moving around in the open world, I noticed too, it kind of dips. But I'm a little interested. I'm interested how you capture them. I've never captured. Like I said, I did very entry level things when it came to the game. I'm searching for my egg right now, I guess. Right, so I think I'm riding, what is it, a baggie? I think it's a baggie or a jaggy. One of them. I'm sorry. Like I said, we are not Monster Hunter guys at all. So trust me, we're very much so entry level.
Yeah.
We play and we're understanding it a bit, but we
don't not like know the names like for sure, the monsters.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, if you asked when we was a kid and we was playing Pokemon, we could name all 151.
Oh yeah.
Like now, like with the monsters, it's kind of hard. Like some of them, you can tell, like the Kulukazuyu or whatever. You know him when you see him,
because we beat on him all the time.
And then you got the Rathian. We know the Rathalos and the Rathian. We know that, and we're very familiar. Trust me, we are very familiar with our old buddy Magnamalo. We are very familiar with that guy. But yeah, the game is cool. Once he starts playing it more, he'll be able to get more of a feel for it. But it's good that it grabs you from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
For me, I was telling you, like, I was kind of like, hold on, because I was watching like I said, I was watching a preview on it. I think some people already got the game. Okay. Like, so it was Nintendo Life, and I was watching him, and he was talking about how pretty the game was. So I honestly, based on all the cutscenes and stuff we've seen, I was expecting it to like literally be blown away. But I noticed, like, in the open world and in Mahana Village, what I do like is how colorful it is, how bright it is, but the game really shines in terms of in terms of visually in cutscene.
Oh yeah,
and in the battling. The battling is fire. So
even voice acting, the English voice acting is very good. The English voice acting to me is not.
Some cats ain't gonna want to hear that.
That's what I'm saying. It's not cringy though. And I'm an anime guy, by the way. And I like my Japanese. You know, I believe it's dub. Yeah. Or is it sub? I'm confused on that too, and I've been watching anime for a long time. Yeah. So I like, you know, the Japanese, and I read the English stuff. I'm all about that.
Right.
This English voice acting is really good. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a Japanese game by no stretch until you start playing it, and then you get it's JRPG. But cutscene wise, to me, they touched on the American side perfectly. So
yeah. I'm not a purist in that, so I can't really call that. Okay. Like, you know, when we was watching the Super series, I can do it, but other than that, like I know, you know, there's a couple guys that I watch on Twitch that they refuse to put the game in English. Like, no, absolutely not. But I'm not that guy. I really don't care like that. I don't care, but yeah, it's a dope game. I urge anybody, if you're into any type of RPGs, to try this game out. It is worth a try, dude. So,
yeah, I mean, like, even reading on Polygon is saying, like, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin is a perfect podcast game. So, like I said, we could probably talk about this game forever, dude. Once we really dive deep into it. Once it drops, I think, when does it drop? Drop this month?
It drops July 9th.
July 9th. So, next month. Yep. Man, July is packed. Yep. July is packed. But yeah, you have anything else to add on that Wings of Ruin?
No, I just urge, if you, like I said, if any of you guys like turn-based RPGs, JRPGs, dude, give this game a shot, because it's pretty dope.
Cool. Yep. All right, so that's it for the Wings of Ruin impressions so far. I would say that we're both pretty much enjoying it. Like I said, I only played a good maybe 15 to 20 minutes of it, just to dip my feet in it, so I can at least kind of you know, bank off of whatever he's talking about, you know. Yeah. So next topic, we want to touch on AMD Super Res for Xbox. Right now I'm on twinfinite.net, reading this article about fidelity resolution. AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution preview included in Microsoft Game Dev Kit for Xbox Series X and Xbox One,
which is gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, Phil's not forcing you to upgrade right away. He's giving you alternative avenues to experience these games, man.
At a good frame rate,
all of that
resolution. What Phil's doing is special in gaming. He catches a lot of heat to me, all around the board. I feel like sometimes some Xbox fans, they give him a lot of heat, and definitely the individuals on the outside of Xbox fan base, of course, they want to give him heat because they don't really like Xbox like that anyway. But,
that's a fact.
But yeah, I mean, what he's doing is crazy. It's crazy right now, because I remember when we was first talking about this, and then it had officially launched. Remember, and then I believe I think we were talking on the phone. I was reading the article how they're not limiting this Fidelity FX just to AMD type chips. They're going with NVIDIA. They seem like they're also going generations back, which would make sense with them being on Xbox One, which is going to be very good for people who can't, especially for people who can't find an Xbox Series X or S right now. So he's looking out. I would say he's looking out. So like, if you struggling, don't fret. Don't be too upset. Yeah, this AMD Super Resolution is coming to the rescue. And I hope Nintendo is doing it too with the Switch Pro with their DLSS.
Facts. Facts. That's gonna change. Like I said, this changes everything, man. This AI stuff that they're coming out with, Fidelity FX, Super Res, and DLSS, man, that's a game changer for a lot of these consoles and a lot of the companies who don't want to make that jump and spend all this money on these consoles. You know, you can keep the same chipset, and render the game at 540. And get 540 30 frames or whatever, what have you, and get triple the performance out of that. So that's a big deal for people's pockets. not just ours.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I really thought that you know, I really feel like this AMD situation really kind of puts the pressure too on I feel like it puts it on Nintendo, but at the same point in time it's all been rumor really anyway, so we don't know for sure with Nintendo. But that was always my thing, where I felt like they had a little ace in their pocket once I heard everybody raving about the DLSS 2.0. I don't want to act like I just know what I'm talking about. I'm not a tech head here.
Neither
all I know is the little bit of stuff that I be reading, but it seemed like it really can give a good advantage would give a good advantage to the Switch. But it's AMD. I thought AMD's was going to be off a little while. So when I started to see, I was like, dang, like this they're talking like this is coming. Like, no, this is like imminent. This is soon.
Yeah, they're rolling it out. Yeah.
And it's like, well, there it is. What can you do about it? You gotta. I mean, but it seems like it's some crazy tech. We watched I watched some of the YouTube video and was looking at how much of a boost in frame rate you get.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And even before they were showing the Fidelity FX, I was going and looking at the DLSS 2.0 on the NVIDIA YouTube channel, and I was looking at how like some of these games, like they're running native 4K, but it's still 60 frames per second. You know, you activate that DLSS, then all of a sudden you're at 120 frames.
Kapow!
Yeah, like just like that. It's crazy. It's some crazy tech.
Yeah, and like I said, with Xbox, you probably won't see it as much with the Series X. It'll probably take a load off. Yeah. Instead of having it work so hard, you can turn that on and it won't get as hot, I guess, even though it stays relatively cool. This is going to be a big thing for Series S. Series S and Xbox One X, you know. Big deal for that because, you know, Sony has their PlayStation, you know, their PS5 over there, which we all know it can't really hang with Series X too much, but... No. Now you have the Series S that's going to be doing these things, and it's like, okay, now I'm spending $300 on this box that can keep up with the Series X's and the PS5. So this is a big deal, and not to mention if DLSS is, even though it's a rumor, if it is in Switch, it's going to be a big deal because now all these games that are running 30 sub 30 to 60 are going to be running at a solid lock 60. So just imagine playing Xenoblade at 60. Imagine playing Breath of the Wild at a lock 60. These are dreams that are coming true. They're right around the corner. So I felt like this was going to be something that we definitely need to touch on because I feel like this is something that, like I said, this is future changing. This is not something that's just going to be, oh, this is just just another feature. No. This is a big deal for everybody, not just Xbox. Even if PlayStation has it in theirs, it's a big deal. Yeah. Because that heatsink is horrible. Let's be honest. Yeah. That heatsink is horrible. Their fan is horrible. Yeah, the architecture is not great. Yes, they produce games that are, you know, they appeal to their fan base, which is supposed to. Yep. And disclaimer: me or Poochie and Thorell are not
big Sony guys.
We're not big Sony guys. The last chance we really gave Sony was PlayStation 4.
Yep, at launch,
which only came with Killzone. We weren't fans of it. No. We were like, okay, yeah, we're good, you know. And I'm coming from the side of being a fan of Last of Us, Uncharted, stuff like that on PS3 because I came in late. I came in late to the PS3 generation. So
me too, and I came in later than you.
Yeah, you came in later.
So me, honestly, just putting it all out there for you guys. I haven't been a place. It's hard for me to say I've ever really been a big PlayStation fan. I've never been. We come from a family that, big into gaming, so we got a lot of the new consoles, and we generally had every PlayStation console. And I've never gravitated towards one. The crazy thing is, the one that it seems like that gets the most heat is the one that I liked the most, which was PlayStation 3.
Both of us.
And that's because I came in super late, so it was a slate of games for me to play.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, wow, dang. But
this is great.
The thing is with PlayStation, for me, that it probably hits for other people. See, I'm a Nintendo dude, so if I go a generation and I know I didn't play a Zelda or a Mario game, that's going to bother me. if I miss an Uncharted or a Last of Us or a God of War, I'm gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of where our stance is. We're not here to be sitting up here be beating on Sony.
Nah.
Sony, because we know there's people that like Sony and like what they have to offer. I got to dabble in some Ratchet and Clank. A Rift Apart?
Yep,
Rift Apart.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good game. I hear people screaming Game of the Year worthy already. Nah. I played probably about an hour of it. Maybe, and I'm it's kind of probably unfair for me to assess, but from what I'm playing, that's why that game is the prime example why I'm not a Sony guy.
Yeah.
I'm just not a Sony guy. So
there's more of a focus on visuals. Sometimes it's too much of a focus on visuals and story.
Yep.
Sony wasn't always that. Sony was not always visuals and story. Sony was gameplay. I want to draw you in with the gameplay. Sly Cooper's gameplay was fun to some. I never experienced it. Jak and Daxter has a cult following behind it. You know, Knack even has a cult following behind it. But it was something different. You're showing us different things. It's not the same third person over the shoulder, story cinematic driven game with mediocre gameplay. It's not that. And now these are our opinions. These are our opinions. I know some of you guys probably may love the gameplay aspect of these games. Us personally, no.
Sony's reach is massive, so I know a lot of the stuff that we're probably saying is probably not going to tickle too many of y'all. But that's we only mention Sony because we feel like this AMD, if they were to get this super resolution, it could probably end up benefiting them a lot as well. Too.
Big time, because they're big into the checkerboarding tech anyway. So this is very much so going to tickle their fancy.
Yeah, and one thing that I will say too about the Ratchet and Clank. It's a pretty game. It's a pretty looking game. It really is. It's just I'd rather spend my time playing something else. But I mean, it's a pretty game. Not like I said, not a knock on Sony or Sony fans. You guys like what you like. We like what we like, and that just is what it is. But we only really mention Sony because the AMD, the Fidelity FX, the super resolution, I'm pretty sure will probably end up benefiting them a lot too, being that there's certain things I think with the Xbox where Xbox is just ahead of them on, and you wonder if that's going to end up catching up as we progress into the generation. If that's going to start catching up with Sony. So.
Right now, like I said, not to cut you off, but right now, I think Xbox waited. They waited for some of these features, man. I think it
feel like they kind of future-proofed their console.
Yeah, they future-proofed their console, and then it's like they future-proofed their last generation console. It's like
that's what it feels like.
It's like now we're gonna let you stream these games. No, they can't run. They can't run natively on the console. That's clear and cut. We all know that. But we can stream it to you, and that right there speaks volumes to the consumer friendliness of Xbox. Like I said, they're not forcing you to upgrade yet. We're going to give you alternatives to play these games. We still want you a part of the community, all that jazz. So like I said, I just very appreciative of what they're doing. For my pockets at least, because there's going to be a game hitting every month for Game Pass, and some of them like I said, some of these games aren't going to be good. Some of them aren't not going to be good, but they have that cult following. Just like Knack.
Just
so
like Knack.
Knack has a cult following. Not to everybody, that game is not great, and to some, it's better than Mario.
To some.
To some. And it's better than Banjo to some. So, hey, I can't get mad at other people's opinions. It's just what it is.
But what I would say is Xbox, and this coming from a Nintendo guy. Like, Xbox consumer friendliness, it shines a lot. Like you said, like it's gonna save a lot on people's pockets, and a lot of people like to look at it. Well, I'm still paying this and this amount a month, but still, like I mean, $60, 70 actually now, right? But I'm gonna just go with 60. That's 4 months of Game Pass and having access to a whole bunch of games. So I give Xbox mad props, and this coming even from, like I said, from a Nintendo dude, and I support all of Nintendo's ports that they came from the Wii U, and I am a Wii U dude. So for anybody try to No, I'm a Wii U guy.
Yeah.
I'm a Wii U guy, but I'm also a Switch guy too. I like them both.
Yeah, I would say you probably taxed the Wii U more than you've taxed any Nintendo console, dude.
Yeah, I put a beat on the Wii U.
Yeah, more than GameCube. And GameCube, like I said, is probably my favorite console from Nintendo of all time. Yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah. That one resonates with me more than any of them.
Yeah.
So for you to say Wii U is up, like, I think Wii U would probably be tied, right, for number one with GameCube.
Wii U was up there for me.
Okay.
Wii U was up there. I enjoyed it. I didn't see why a lot of people didn't like it, but I mean, a lot of that I feel like is on the fault of Nintendo because the way they marketed it and stuff like that. But I mean, just like I say, just like when me and you talk about these Sony fans that now want games like Sly and Jack and Daxter, like, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
So the numbers, you guys are coming out in droves buying these movie games. So if you're coming out in droves, Sony's looking at these other games like, okay, we're not putting that out. And it's the same thing with Nintendo. Like, the Wii U has a lot of dope features on it that did not come to Switch.
Nope.
And Nintendo's just kind of like, well, you guys didn't seem like y'all didn't like that system very much, so we're just going to shake it all up and give you the same thing.
And do you blame them?
Yeah, I know.
Can't blame them. It's
but
like,
the crazy thing is, like, they shook it up and then they turned around and gave you the same thing.
Yeah.
That was exactly what they did.
Anyways, yeah.
Yep.
But, yeah, so that's pretty much it. You got anything else to add, Tro, on that? I mean, Thorell, I'm sorry.
Nah.
Anything else to add on AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution?
Nah. It's a dope. I just can't wait to start seeing this AI stuff actually, in our hands. It's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? We're seeing it, but like when we actually get it in our hands, it's different. Gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be different, man. Okay, so for the third topic, like I said, we're gonna keep it short. We're not going to go too long. For the third topic, we have Gregg Mayles, I guess, leading taking over creative director for Rare, which is kind of a big deal for Everwild. I'm sorry, taking over creative director for Everwild.
Yeah.
Reason being, I guess, the last creative director didn't want combat. He wanted you to interact with these, I guess, animals, or I don't know what to call them. We don't even know the name of them yet.
Animals, I guess, at that point,
he wanted you to interact with them without combat and, all that stuff, and have you use them in the world to build villages and, to mine resources and things like that. So that game has been completely rebooted with Gregg Mayles at the helm. He has quite a track record.
He sure do.
We've been looking at some of the things he's done.
Yeah.
Just to name a few, he did Donkey Kong Country. He's helped with Donkey Kong
Lead
Country.
designer.
Yeah. Diddy Kong's Quest. Banjo-Kazooie, he was lead designer of.
Yep.
Donkey Kong 64, he supported. Banjo-Tooie, creative director, lead designer.
Yep.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, Star Fox Adventures, Perfect Dark Zero.
Viva Pinata.
But hey,
Viva Pinata.
Cameo, Rare Management, Viva. Yeah, so he has quite a track record.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited to see.
Sea of Thieves, he's the creative director. I think you told me that, didn't
you?
Yep.
Yeah. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Oh, okay, that's probably for Banjo.
Banjo
when he was in there. Okay.
Fighter's Pass.
Yeah. So, like I said, he has quite the track record. I'm kind of excited to see what he does with it.
Yeah.
Now that there's combat involved.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be multiplayer. So, like I said, we finally dabbled into Sea of Thieves a little bit, and I seen the draw, at least. I know I seen the draw. I know Thorell was having a good time with it. And I finally seen why people love Sea of Thieves. At first I was like, I don't want to play that game. Yeah. I'm good. I don't want to be a pirate. I don't want to go chase booty.
Nope.
I don't want to do it, dude. But
yeah, it really was a dope. We only played one night. And I was only planning on staying on for, I told you what, like 45 minutes, an hour. I think we played for like 3.5, almost 4 hours.
And it went by fast.
And it went by quick, and we actually ran into some dudes who hopped out. He ready to get some of that action, so he hopped out there.
Yeah.
And these cats, they laid them down. And
fast.
They dropped themselves, and these cats just took off. The game it's beautiful. The water is beautiful. I ain't got munched on by sharks. I ain't seen mermaids. When I first seen the mermaids, I was scared. We seen what's them other things? They look like they not quite mermaids, but you know they shoot at us. Don't they shoot them little beams at us or little
sirens?
Sirens, yeah.
So pretty much, sirens is in the
mermaid family.
Yeah, mermaid family.
Okay, then so maybe the bad mermaids. Then.
Bad mermaids. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Sea of Thieves is actually pretty dope. It was
fun.
Actually pretty good.
It's
pretty good time, especially. I think it's definitely one of those games that you want to enjoy with a group of friends, though. Like,
yes.
I feel like that's where you get the most fun at it, because we had this thing where, for some reason, whenever we're going to any island, we could not. Nobody. It was 4 of us, and nobody would drop the anchor. Nobody.
Mind you, we're playing with like our dad and our uncle, so these guys aren't.
We're just all staring as we're approaching the island. Like, I guess the boat will stop on its own.
It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop on its own at all.
On its own.
It'll stop.
Yeah, it's gonna stop. So we had a couple times we had to go underneath and patch up the boat
a whole lot.
So it was a good time though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But anyways, the Gregg Mayles dude, you know, I really don't know what to take from this, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of leaning more on you on this one, because I really don't know what to think, because I look at some of these games, but at the same point in time, I'm looking at them like, well, to be 100% transparent here, I was interested in Everwild, but I never quite knew what it was to begin with. So even like the stuff that they showed, I don't know what it was. It seemed like what you said, like the creative, like it seemed more like
you're working with these animals.
You're working with the animals. Maybe you're saving animals, or you're saving the wilderness, or something like that. That's what it seemed like. So I'm not quite sure what to think. I'm definitely interested in the game. I've been interested in the game because I want to see what Rare got.
Yeah,
I want to see what they got. You
want to see if that magic is still there, man. Because, like I said, you've had Viva Pinata since the Donkey Kong thing. Because that's where everybody kind of leans on. They want to lean on Donkey Kong and they want to lean on Banjo, and it's like those guys are not there anymore. This is a brand new team.
Yeah.
So you're looking for this kind of style of gameplay, which ain't gonna show up. That's why I'm a little bit more excited with Gregg Mayles at the helm of it.
Right.
Same with Halo Infinite. You went back and you went and got somebody who's a little bit more familiar with the Haloverse, and Joseph Staten. So it's like now it seems like it's more combat evolved-ish. So it's like it's leaning more towards those fans, and tickling those fans is fancy. So that's why with Gregg Mayles, I'm seeing that he's led direction on Donkey Kong. He's led direction on Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, it didn't have the best start in the beginning, but now it's found its footing. It's found its ground. So it's doing a little bit better now. So to see him at the helm of that, I'm kind of excited. Like I said, we really didn't know what Everwild is, and we don't know.
Yeah.
Based off what I'm seeing, like I said, they talk a lot about rhythm, being in rhythm with the world. So it seems like I said, being in rhythm to me saying you're working together and mining resources. If you need wood, you go with them to get wood, and the more you work with them, the more you become closer with them.
Right.
So now that Gregg Mayles is at the helm, I don't know if we just trash those other 2 trailers and just move forward. That's the good thing about Everwild. All it was cinematic trailers, no gameplay involved. So it's not too hard to just swap it all around, because it seemed like these guys at Rare had a template of what they wanted, but they just couldn't implement it the right way. And like I said, these guys want combat. From what I'm hearing, Microsoft Xbox wanted some more combat involved in it. It's just different directions, different creative directions.
Probably looking like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
What are y'all doing?
What are we doing? Show me something. So, like you said, it could have been like, the creative director said this one thing and it sounds good, and we're trying to put it on paper, but it's not looking interesting. Maybe it's boring.
Right.
It's looking boring. So you need to have, these guys, maybe the animals are trying to attack you in the midst of you trying to get in rhythm with them. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But I just felt like it was a kind of an interesting topic to touch on because of his pedigree.
Because you clearly, if they shaking stuff up, then it was something they didn't like.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo, Did the same thing with Metroid Prime 4. So like clearly,
True.
like if they shaking stuff up, then it's got to be some. Maybe there is foundation. Maybe they're cool with the art style. They just probably don't like the direction of.
Did we ever know who was developing Metroid Prime 4? Wasn't it Bandai Namco? Rumors of that being involved?
Rumor of them two, yeah, Bandai Namco being.
I thought I seen a rumor of them being involved, and this is a good segue to Metroid Dread because that Gregg Mayles situation, like I said, we gonna see what's gonna happen. I just felt like it was interesting to talk about because of his pedigree.
Yeah.
But going into Metroid Dread, this is the last topic.
Yeah.
We could sprinkle a little bit of Prime in there because, like I said, I'm a prime. Yes, I'm a Prime whore, dude. So I love Prime.
Yeah.
Never, like I said, I never beat the first one. I always finish my brother's games because he had this thing of he would play the GameCube games and
get all the way
to the end and don't want to finish it.
Yeah.
I don't want to finish it yet.
And
so.
I couldn't beat. He was too hard for me back in the day. I could never beat Metro. It was Metroid Prime. Yeah,
yes.
I couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
I couldn't beat him.
Interesting, man. That fight was interesting. That's what pulled me in. The last boss fight is what pulled me in to be like, maybe I should play the whole thing. Never played the whole thing. I beat the boss, though, for him.
Yeah.
But I never played the whole thing. We tried to go back and do Pikmin the same way. Couldn't beat that last Pikmin boss for nothing. That boss was eating all them little Pikmin up, dude.
Yeah,
and they were evolved. All the Pikmin had flowers on top of their head. So they all got licked up and swallowed up.
Yep.
So, but Prime 4. Rare got that now. I mean, not Rare. Retro got that now. So
yeah, Retro got Prime 4 now. So
it's in good hands.
It should be in good hands.
It's in good hands.
It's a situation similar to how you're talking about how you're trying to, with Rare. Everybody's looking towards old stuff, but from my understanding, Retro is not the same team. Rare is not the same team.
That's
so
true.
It's kind of hard. But they have, they've been going on a hiring spree, hiring all kinds of cats that have worked on Battlefield, to Call of Duty.
What I respect about Retro, even though they've lost a slew of people, the quality is still there, which it's to be expected. It's a Nintendo title. So Donkey Kong, they did with Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze,
and Returns, man. Yep, but
and Returns,
Freeze especially.
They you could tell the level of quality's there, man.
Yep.
So. They haven't lost sight of that. No. That's what got me excited for Prime, because I did play Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Loved every bit of it.
Yeah.
Good time, dude. That corruption getting you start letting off on these cats, man. And I'm not big into motion controls, but that game made me very much so into motion controls.
Yeah, I was anti-motion.
Yeah.
Super anti-motion.
Yeah, that was when you kind of got out of it around that time, but Skyward Sword pulled you in.
Pulled me back.
Made you understand, okay, this is some good tech they got going on here, dude.
Yep.
But Dread.
Metroid Dread.
I'm actually watching some of the Treehouse right now to refresh my memory on it, and boy,
some good eating.
It's looking good, man. Them Emmys is trying to get you. Emmys trying to get you. But like I said, Troy, you watch more on the Treehouse, so you can kind of elaborate on that.
So I mainly want to talk about Metroid Dread for other reasons, but we'll touch on that. But how does the game look? Game look crazy. Game look crazy. Mercury Steam. Unfortunately, sorry about that. When Samus Returns came out, I was done with 3DS.
Yes.
Which I shouldn't have been done with 3DS because I wanted to play Samus Returns so bad. I remember being so upset that Reggie broke that out after the E3, because remember it was a post E3. It was at the Treehouse where he showed that.
Oh,
he showed it after the E3, so it was like, so it was booming. But I'm just kind of looking at it and I'm like, man, I wish I could have played it, but I couldn't. So I'm happy we're getting this from Mercury Steam. I'm really happy that Mercury Steam is doing this. This mess has been rumored for a long time.
I heard since the GameCube.
Yep. You're talking about just the Dread title. Dread title. Dude, that's decades old, but the game, the actual 2D Metro HD 2D Metroid game has been rumored for a long time on Switch. Supposed to have been coming.
Oh, okay.
And they finally showed it, and in typical or usual Nintendo fashion, as of recently, I think that Nintendo's been doing a good job with how they've been doing their releases. They usually will show you something, and then they'll turn around and then it'll launch a few months later.
They sure do.
I mean? They sure do. So the game is looking really good. It's looking pretty it's looking pretty sexy, man. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Same. Because like I said, we've been kind of both wanting a 2D Metroid kind of to kind of tickle our fancy of the Samus Return. Well, not so much the Samus Returns, but the Fusion line. Because like I said, we played. I played a little bit of my brother's game when he had his, GBA and Nintendo SP and things of that nature. I would play Fusion, and I always liked how fast it was. Like Fusion was super fast. A lot of like her jumping around, doing double jumps, and all that stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty new to the 2D Metroid. I don't think I've ever beat a 2D Metroid. I played a little bit of it on Wii.
I thought you were playing what's the name too?
What?
I thought you played Super Metroid.
Yeah, on Wii. I think it was on Wii, right?
I thought you played on Wii U.
Wii U? It was one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played a little bit of it. Hard. The game was incredibly hard for me, dude. They don't tell you what to do at all.
No.
Old school, very much so old school.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Dread is more of a, let me hold your hand a little bit, but not too much. You know what I'm saying? Because I know fans of the old franchise are like, no. Don't hold my hand. I want to struggle. So, those are the old heads. I feel like it'll probably tickle your fancy a lot more probably than mine. But I'm interested because, like I said, I haven't played a Metroid game, especially, furthermore, a 2D Metroid in a long time, man. I don't think I played it in a minute.
Yeah. And I went back, and the thing is the crazy thing is when Prime had came out, remember when Prime had came out on GameCube?
Yeah.
That was the one that I was really playing.
Yep.
And Poochie, my younger brother, he had his Game Boy, and he had actually got Fusion. And I loved me some Fusion, man. I was playing
Fun,
Fusion.
dude.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good game. So I'm really happy that they're going back to this. I'm excited to see what it's going to be about. It definitely looks more and I hate using this word when it comes to Nintendo games because I don't like saying it that much, but it definitely has more, as you can see right there, more cinematic-y feeling to it. But we're gonna see how it all plays out because I went back and I was telling I was telling Pooch about maybe 2 months ago how I was trying to play Super Metroid and how for some reason it just seemed like it just wasn't clicking for me, and I started questioning my love for Metroidvanias.
Yeah,
it made me question. I'm like, man, because I also, and here it comes. You guys probably not gonna like this. I don't like Hollow Knight. Okay. I don't like Hollow Knight. I don't care. Pull my gamer card or you want to. I don't like Hollow Knight. Mm-hmm. I think games like SteamWorld Dig 2, Guacamelee, and absolutely Ori. Yeah. Are way better Metroidvanias, but I was told by more of an old head that I interact with on YouTube, who was around with the, who wasn't a baby when the OG Nintendo came out, who was talking about I tend to gravitate towards those games more because it does give more of a Super Metroid feel. So you have like a map and stuff like that, whereas like Hollow Knight, but Hollow Knight does give you a map. I don't know if it's just the aesthetic of Hollow Knight. I don't know what it is. I know Guacamelee though is like Guacamelee, Ori, and I would say SteamWorld. I mean, I think you can classify SteamWorld Dig 2 as a Metroidvania. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, but it's 2D, so I mean, hey.
Yeah, but we're bringing up Metroid Dread just to talk on the topic, just in general, about value. Yeah, and how people, everybody's entitled to feel how they want to feel about value. Yeah, there are certain, we may not understand it, but we're not going to sit up here and be dragging nobody behind it. Mm-hmm. Like me, I'm the type of individual that looks at Game Pass, and I think Game Pass is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Game Pass is fantastic. I feel like it's a fantastic value, and I feel like, especially for an individual like me, who I'll be quite frank, Indie is my third party. That's it, and that's just what I always put. Mm-hmm. That's my hashtag when I'll be playing them on Switch. Hashtag my third party. Yep. Because I don't have a ton of respect for third party or their games, and I feel like
I'm slowly seeing that also.
Yeah, and I feel like Game Pass makes me feel more comfortable about playing third party games. Yep. You know what I mean? So, and I say that into Metroid Prime, Metroid Dread, because there's a lot of people that are looking at this game and saying, "Oh, it's not worth $60." You can't tell somebody what is worth, what something's value is. Can't. You can speak your opinion, and I get that, but you can't just look at it and just definitively say like, "Oh, that's not worth $60," because value, like, you know, being in the Nintendo community the way I've been in the Nintendo community, I expect, like I tell Pooch all the time, I expect all these whiners, all these crybabies, you better show up. You better put your money where your mouth is. You better show out.
Yeah.
Because we are seeing the game. Like, I can see if we saw the game and the game looked like garbage.
Right.
Then I can say, okay, I can understand it.
Yeah.
But we see this game. This game looks good. Even if you say it's not worth $60, I still feel you should go buy it.
Yes.
If you agree that it looks like it's a good game, you should go buy it. Because if you care about Metroid as much as a lot of y'all claim, y'all care about Metroid.
Yes.
Go out there and buy the game.
And this is Nintendo's way of seeing, okay, let's see who's really on let's see who's really on board with Metroid Dread. I mean Metroid the franchise period. Let's put this Dread out and we're gonna get a test feel of the market. We're gonna see who's really invested in Metroid like you say you are.
Right.
If it sells at least 5 mil, I think I would say that's a success, maybe a little bit over 5 mil.
For me, you want me to tell you where I wanted that, dude? I expected to sell as good as Luigi's Mansion 3.
Well, how much is Luigi's Mansion sell?
Luigi's Mansion is almost a 10 million seller, dog. It's almost 9 million.
That's ridiculous.
So I feel like it should sell at Luigi's Mansion numbers.
I think it will. I think the Switch effect is going to be in full effect with this one because everybody's going to be like, oh, Metroid Dread? Maybe I should check it out just because it's on Switch. Switch has been dropping banger after banger after banger, no matter if it's a port or not.
Yeah.
You can't sit back and be like, to me, it's not that. It's $60. To me, if you're pricing it at $60, Nintendo, you must feel, hey, this game
it's good.
It's good. This is a good game here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I feel like this game easily will probably give you what? 20 hours?
I think so.
20, 25 hours?
I think so. And the thing about it is like, I understand, like, you know, like when I honestly, like I said, I'm a Wii U dude.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still support the ports, the Wii U ports on Switch. I'm supporting them because I love those games.
Yep.
And full blown disclaimer, I still have my Wii U. I just don't have my Wii U game. So maybe that's why it doesn't hurt me as bad to go rebuy these games on Switch.
Yeah.
So I can understand for the collector out there who still has their Wii U, they're being butthurt about it, but not me.
Yeah.
But I even feel like if I still had the games, I would still
I'd still rebuy them.
I'd still buy them anyway.
Yeah.
But I just feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to it with Nintendo, dude, like this is a game that everybody's been crying about.
Yeah.
It looks like a great game. I don't care if you think it's worth $60 or not. You should go buy it.
Yeah.
If you're interested in it,
in
you
Metroid.
should go buy it. Yeah, and support.
It's the same with Mario. So, like, man, like I said, it could be a Mario game that's very dumbed down, bare bones. People are still going to go buy that Mario because it's Mario. They support Mario. You know what I'm saying? So, support Metroid in the same vein.
Yep. Support Metroid. Support
them.
Your girl Samus.
Yep.
Show her some love.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say, too, that I was on YouTube. This is a side note. If you want, we can close it after this.
Okay.
Side note, I really got a feel for true Metroid fans when I looked at a lot of reactions on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because for all these cats that are crying and I want Metroid, I find it weird that none of you guys. My head blew back when that Dread label popped up.
Oh man.
Because I was like, this game was rumored from so long ago. Like, and they actually did
it, dude.
So when I was watching reactions, I knew the cats who are true Metroid fans. Because they know, they were like, Dread?
Yes.
Like, what?
Yeah.
But I also realized some of you guys that are just running your mouth.
Yeah.
You guys are all talk. You are. Some of you guys are that younger demographic that don't know nothing about none of these games.
They don't know.
You're claiming you all want F-Zero. I want F-Zero. Have you played one?
You never even played F-Zero.
Have you played an F-Zero?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not saying that you can't want these things because you don't know the history. But I do just feel like how you gonna be sitting up here being butthurt about something, and you've never even played it. You don't even know if you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I feel like that's just following the wave, following a demographic.
Yep.
Oh, we wanted this though, and we wanted that though. Now, like I said, this is a trial run for Nintendo.
Yep.
People are invested. Like, you gotta understand, this is something that Nintendo is very much so known for. Before they drop the big dog, we're gonna drop something a little bit smaller, just to get people, get the juices flowing for some of these, and engage for some of these games. Like, Metroid Dread is the baby prime, the baby to prime. So it's like the introduction. This is what you're gonna get first to get the juices flowing, and then before you know it, the big dog is dropping, which is gonna be prime, which is going to be my game of the year regardless, dude. That's gonna be my game of the year, man. So
I hope Retro shows out, dude, with that game.
I think they will. I think they're gonna understand. There's the man. It's up there, dude. Like, these guys, we've been crying for a Metroid Prime at least for a long time. So for them to give us a Dread first, here, man, we're gonna give you this first because we know y'all miss Metroid, right? So we're gonna give you this first. Then we'll give you the big dog. So,
and then they still might, keep in mind, remember they got that rumor too that they still might drop the Trilogy HD.
Oh yeah, they still might end up dropping that.
I mean,
which is good because that'll be a good refresher for people that the more younger demographic. Like I said, I'm part of that young demographic, but I feel like I had a Thorell's 5 years older than me, so it's like a lot of the things that I'm experiencing, a lot of the things that I can comment on is because of him. Because he would play a lot of these games, even though it was a little bit harder for me to understand them and play them. I could still watch him play and see how fun they were and all that stuff.
Yeah, you had a level of appreciation.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different when you have, like, for instance, if it was just you, for instance, you probably would have a different, perspective on some of these games. But yeah, dude, like, this looks like this is gonna be something special right here, and I think Nintendo kind of got a position somewhere kind of in the holiday time. Yeah,
so, Nintendo's road mapping's always been great, man. Yep, they've never failed in that way.
They've been doing good, man. So we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna really. I don't even remember watching that, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait to see. I'm pretty sure this game is gonna be great. I heard Returns was good. I actually did hear one person who said that he didn't like something about Returns, the art style or something. Okay, but I know it's sitting. If you're into Metacritic, I know I'm into Metacritic. Yes, so. I mean, I don't think reviews are the end-all, be-all, but when you compile a whole bunch of reviews to get a one, like, big score, like, to me, that holds weight. That means something. And I believe Samus Returns is sitting at, like, an 85. So, dang. They got respect. They got love for Mercury Steam. You seen the dev, the homeboy, I always forget his name, with the hair.
Japanese dude?
Yeah, the developer. Okay. And he was talking. He just seemed like he just has a lot of respect for Mercury Steam. Like, he likes what Mercury Steam. Like, this is the team that I want to bring Dread to life. Yes. It seemed like a lot of the problem with Dread was either the console wasn't strong enough, or it just couldn't live up to whatever his vision is. And clearly, Mercury Steam, they hear. I've been hearing rumors. We'll talk about that another time, but I've been hearing rumors about, like, Chozo, Evil Chozo, and everything, dog.
Are you kidding me?
Yep. So okay, but that's just been a little speculation talk or whatever. But man, it's a good podcast. Yeah.
Good first podcast.
Good first podcast. Enjoyed it. I thought we was only gonna go 30 minutes. We closing in on about 52.
Yeah, we are. That usually happens when we're talking about video games. We can talk about this stuff all day, but like I said, this is our first podcast, so we're not going to go that long. We're going to cut it a little bit short, even though we were supposed to go 30 minutes. But like I said, this is the first podcast, first episode of the SuperBanksBros podcast. Like I said, we're new. We're very new at this whole tech stuff too. We're very much so into tech, but when it comes to microphones and audio and all that stuff, we struggle. But like I said, we're learning, and whoever's going to listen, you can go along with this ride for us, man, with us. So with that being said, this is Pooch.
This is Thorell.
And we'll catch you guys probably next week, maybe next Sunday with something else. If anything else pops up, if there's more news, there's always news. So we'll probably have things to talk about. So, all right, guys.
All right, you guys take it easy. Shalom.
Shalom.